Hello, everyone, and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Lydia here with your new moon in Libra reading, but I've also got something a little bit different. I'm trying something a little bit different today because I've had a lot of downloads, and I'd like to give you a little bit of predictions for the next upcoming 3 months or so. The ideas that I have are what is going to happen in the world, but also how we're going to respond to it, and how spirit is going to work through us within the next 3 to 4, maybe 3 to 6 months. So let's get on with it. I'm going to be using a different deck today. So for the predictions that I've got, or some ideas about the predictions that I have, that at least will spur some information. We're going to be using the Gateway of Light Activation Oracle by Kyle Gray. I haven't actually used this one in my readings yet, but it's fabulous. I really, really enjoy reading from this deck for myself, and I think other people who I've read for have enjoyed it as well. And what we're going to be doing is the very last card that we're going to be using will be through the Moonology Manifestation deck for the new moon. So I hope you're having a good new moon, by the way. Just in, I guess, precursor to the predictions, I don't know if any of you have experienced this, but over the last 3 days or so, just prior and just on and after the equinox. So we had the autumnal equinox on September 23rd of this year. And so just prior to, on the day, and afterward, there have been some very prominent solar activity, in that the way that the sun is turning, the way that it is moving towards us, or rather not towards us, but it's shifting. It is creating a lot of really large rays of like solar and galactic rays towards us. And I don't know about you, but I really felt them over the last 2 days. So on the equinox and the day after, I had a massive headache, making me loopy and really out to lunch, to the point where I had to actually take a nap. I don't take naps during the day, but I felt like I needed to. And so after doing whatever I needed to, I basically took a little bit of a nap, feeling so loopy. This is where the predictions go towards the way spirit is working with us. We are getting a lot of activations, hence the card deck that I'm using. We're getting a lot of downloads, a lot of shifting within our cellular level. So it's basically causing, the way I see it is that our bodies are of a specific density in this particular world, which makes sense. We're pinched, we're dense, we've got a density, a physical density, but within us, our soul, our inner light, shall we say, is upgrading. It's upgrading with each ray, the cosmic rays that are coming in, and each time it's coming in, because they come in spurts, basically. And so over the equinox, I found that it was pretty powerful. And of course, it's just before the new moon. So we have a lunar aspect that goes with this. And of course, we're also in a very highly influential set of astrological aspects. And I encourage you to go and take a look at some astrological readings on YouTube or wherever. So with everything going on, and we're now just before eclipse season as well, or just entering eclipse season, it is the energies are so powerful, and they are amping up. And not only are they amping up within us, as we could feel, because you always feel what you're going to expect in the outer world. That's just what's going to happen. So as it's amping up within us, it's going to amp up on the outer world. So let's see what we have in predictions. Again, I've chosen the cards, but I haven't looked at them yet. So we're going to look at them together. The first card that I have is I Am Presence. Light body activation, accessing the divine within. So it's very bright, and I apologize for that, but maybe I can shift it in such a way that you can see it better. Okay, the I am presence. We are beings of light. We are more than amazing beings of light. And the activations are doing are upgrading our consciousness level. So that is another reason why you might also feel completely out to lunch, spacey, a little disoriented, maybe, or disjointed from the rest of your body, maybe rising to a higher degree. If you meditate, some of the meditations that you might be doing might bring you into, like, transcend you into some really interesting levels of consciousness, and or you may be getting messages as well. So we are accessing that divine within more so now than ever before. And it's just, as you see the energy amping up around us with all sorts of chaos, like crazy stuff going on in the world, then also know your body is changing, which is its own internal form of chaos. It's changing in a very beautiful way. If you can say there's a balanced chaos, that's what's going on within us. And this is going to amp up. Like, if anything, my feeling is that we are increasing in spiritual gain from this time in October, say October, beginning of October, right through till March 2023. And my feeling is that we will have a lot of shifts and changes out there in the outer world, where with the planetary the planetary alignments and aspects, it's also encouraging and or promoting the butting heads between government and people, that whoever's been in authority or control, perceived control, in the last couple of years, well, probably a couple of decades, if not even centuries. Actually, I'll go beyond that and say centuries, that this control is also something that we are going to be looking at tenfold, I guess you could say, in the next 6 months. So starting in October, kind of looking into March 2023. And from what I've been feeling and my guides have been telling me, is that by the end of summer of next year, we may also see the glimpses of a new earth and what the new earth is supposed to look like. Now, the way that it looks like may not look very great, or it may be fabulous. Only inklings is what we're going to see, inklings of it. And if it turns out that it's not something that you like, you could change it. And I'm saying that you change from within. You start from within to change it. You can focus your new consciousness energy, because by that time we will have the powers within us, and know it, that we can make these light changes first, that we're able to make that by thinking of it, by imagining what kind of world we want to live in. So, okay, I'm going to read these. I'm going to read the cards anyways, because I do also find that reading the guidebook, like I said before, is a very important part of learning a bit about what resonates with us, because not everything will resonate with one person or another. It's basically it's up to you to kind of listen to something and find out if it resonates. What I'm saying may not resonate with you too, but all I can say is this is what I'm feeling. So I am presence, the light body activation, accessing the divine within. So the I am presence is frequently mentioned in the Ascended Master teachings. It's the individualized presence of the divine that rests within us all. Personally, I see no difference between the I am presence and what other people call the inner teacher or higher self. It's the aspect of divinity that lies within us, offering us great wisdom. It's the inner Buddha or Christ consciousness. It's the part of our soul that has never forgotten that it's connected to divine love. Even when our faith is challenged, which it is today, there's a part of us that knows there's something out or in there, and it's the I am. This card is the gateway that allows you to reflect upon the fact that this incredible infinite being, divine being is within you, always aligned with love and always offering wisdom. For a long time, the I am has been dormant, and we have been encouraged to believe we are insignificant and powerless. But the more we connect with the divine, the more we realize that it's resting gently within us. We are the divine expressing itself. We are a facet of the God particle, having an individual experience, but we are part of the whole. This is so bang on. Connect. Place your hands on your heart and belly and say, I call forth from the core of my being the mighty I am presence. Great universal cosmonaut, star being, star power, thank you for standing at the forefront of my heart and mind. Thank you for leading the way with your divine intelligence. Isn't that beautiful? So your message, you're experiencing a great shift, which is helping you understand yourself in ways that were previously impossible. This is an exciting time. You are connecting with the highest form of intelligence within you, and the body of light within you is growing brighter. And you are becoming aware of how your actions and choices affect the unfolding of your future. That's what I said about how you feel and what you can change in the near future. The bright light you are is expressing itself unapologetically. This is beautiful because it is really, really saying that we are free. We are free. We experience the freedom within us as the divine part of us. We are able to make changes, and we are way powerful than we think we are. We have, in fact, I'm 120% sure that we have been taught to suppress it. We have been taught something totally different by the powers that be, that we are not who we are, that we are just lower than low can be. And I'm sure there's many things that are out there that people are actually reading in the alternative news that are also looking into that, saying how we're being treated. We are treated like we're lower than low, but really what's within is something of a knowing. And I don't know about you guys, but I know for a fact that I'm way more than I think I am on the inside. My soul is in there, and it's a good soul. And there's everyone out there, I fully believe, has that good soul. It is within you. What acts on the outside is what we learn from. It's our learning experiences. And that doesn't make excuses for poor judgments and actions, but because we are, an ultimate universal rule is that we are responsible for our actions, for our beliefs and our thoughts and what we say. So that responsibility needs to be held 100% accountable. But at the same time, when we know that we are greater than we think we are, that we are from a creator that exists, in that we are all one, we are all pieces of this beautiful gold that exists, it absolutely exists, then we know we can make the changes that we want. So this is a beautiful way of saying the fact that we are shifting 100%, 120%. I'm going to tell you that I 100% know that we are shifting into a higher state of consciousness that we've never been in before. Card number 2. Memories of Atlantis, spiritual acceleration, progress, technology. Now, this is lovely because it does talk about how, I'm not sure if you're familiar with some knowledge of Atlantis, but basically how, I think we've heard about how Atlantis has fallen or had fallen. And I also believe that part of that is a lie. I believe that a lot of the history that we know is actually a lie. And yes, I'm coming right out there and saying it. However, I find this beautiful because the memories of Atlantis, it shows exactly what I've been saying, that the spiritual acceleration, see the on cup here too, that just beautiful. It's solar based energy. This is, to me, this looks like the sun, the solar energies have a basis in our spiritual acceleration and our progress. And the technology can be used for good. What it is being used for at this particular time is not so good. It's used for death and destruction. So what we can do is make this a healing portion, a healing type of technology, something whereby technology can be advanced. Yes, we can use artificial intelligence. We can use AI for the greater good, not to control. And if you're looking into some of the alternative news, you're going to find out that there are some theories or ideas of what is happening, and some possible conclusions. However, this is just coming from my idea that Atlantis still exists. I believe that it does, but we can't see it. We, in our own consciousness level, the density that we're in right now, we are unable to see it, but it still does exist. In any case, let's look at this. The spiritual accelerations is definitely happening, especially since we're going to feel it. If anything, we're going to start feeling it physically. If you haven't already, because I know, like I said, I was really feeling loopy in the last couple of days. Legend has it that Atlantis was an advanced civilization that existed thousands of years ago in the center of the Atlantic Ocean, hence the name Atlantic Ocean. Anyways, its people were highly evolved and had many spiritual gifts. They were telepathic, extremely psychic, and known for their ability to combine the laws of science and spirituality to develop technology and create heaven on earth. But somewhere along the way, many of them stopped respecting their gifts and spiritual connection. Their disrespect for the earth and ocean caused a great cataclysm that brought their civilization to an end. The Atlanteans, who had continued to live with spiritual integrity, had an awareness of what was to come and were able to achieve full ascension and move beyond the physical realm to that of light. They are now a congregation of evolved souls who, like angels and masters, work with those upon planet Earth who are following the ascension path in alignment with devotion and love. If this card comes up for you and has a strong energy or seems familiar, it's a good chance that you are a former Atlantean who didn't honor your spiritual connection then and are being given an opportunity to avoid making the same mistakes now. Connect. Visualize yourself cloaked in a beautiful deep blue energy, the Atlantic Ocean blue, and say, Atlantean Council of Light, thank you for supporting the evolution of my soul so that I can surmount the karmic imbalances of my previous incarnations. Your message? You are being transported through a gateway to connect with ancient Atlantis. Know that by drawing this card today, you are receiving blessings from the Atlantean Council of Light, who are dedicated to the evolution of the soul. You are becoming aware of your gifts, and this is an exciting time, but also a time when the energies of your ego can become loud and obnoxious. Know that this gateway is appearing to remind you to stay aligned with the highest good and rooted in the energies of devotion. Then there can be a great coming together of the human and spiritual, and you can live in a more evolved way. I think that message is pretty clear, in the sense that if you have felt that you have been in an Atlantean background, which I feel like I have several times actually, then that means that I've been a naughty Atlantean and I have to come back here and resolve the situations. And so at this particular time, I feel that we're going to be feeling the energies of the cosmos. We're going to be, if you haven't felt this before, and I can explain a little bit about karma, or at least my thought patterns about karma. I believe karma is the energy that is expelled or released when you go through an experience that you can conclude or learn from. The learning energy, because energy is always there. It's being moved, shifted, shifted here. That's a good word. It's being shifted into something different. And so when we learn something, the experience that we get from that is encoded within us, and there's a release of energy. And that energy is the karmic energy. So if we need to expound, we need to learn a little bit more about something, we're going to go through it in a different lifetime. And I also believe that our lifetimes are not necessarily in reincarnation, but we are actually living all incarnations at the same time. And that's basically different. But again, like I said, I'm just kind of throwing it at you. So that being said, we would be feeling the same sort of energies, or a residual energy, shall we say, from being in Atlantis, which, if you believe what I just said, then that civilization and that those experiences are going on at the same time as you are alive today. So this, to me, gives you the opportunity to make the changes that you need in this lifetime to let go of that karmic energy, or release karmic energy through experience and conclusion. So I believe that that's what's happening in this time period. That karmic energy is very important right now. In the last 2 to 3 years, where all this stuff has been happening around the world globally, we have had this opportunity to go within and actually begin to siphon through, to put the pieces of the puzzles together so that we can conclude certain aspects of experiences that we've had, whether it been in this year, in this lifetime, or in other incarnations. You could be culminating all those incarnations, all the karmic energies from the incarnations into this one lifetime. And if you let go of all of that energy, if you're able to learn from everything that you have been exposed to as an experience, now you are free, just completely free of any encumbrances that could lead you into that new world that is coming up, without, literally, with nothing. I don't know, it's like having no debt. So no karmic debt. So take a look at that. Anyways, technology, something to be wise about is the fact that technology can be used for harm or good. And that's the choice that you have to make. That's the choice that we can make in this lifetime, that we can actually shift the way things are progressing by literally fighting back in many different ways. In this case, it may not mean a physical fighting. It may actually mean that mental fighting. So meditating upon, or getting together in a group where you can pray, intend, meditate upon what it is that you want. There's many studies that are out there that have corroborated the fact that those who if there's a group in intention or prayer, that shared intention, goal, prayer, in a meditation, so achieving a higher state of consciousness while you're sending that intention out there, that it does make a difference, and that you can actually achieve that intention. So keep these things in mind. The third card we have in these predictions, because it's leading to that, is the Anunnaki light codes. I think this is kind of interesting for those who are familiar with the Anunnaki. I'm sure Kyle Gray will talk about it. Anunnaki light codes, energetic shift. Look at that shift again. New information, end of a cycle. Hello, end of an era. So the Anunnaki, now you can see that in this card, there is a being that looks different. That is supposing the Anunnaki. So Anunnaki light codes. It's kind of interesting, because there's been many different visions about what the Anunnaki look like. So anyways, something to look into. We are, once again, it's the first card, I am presence, light body activation. So we're getting at this activation and accessing the divine within. Memories of Atlantis, that spiritual acceleration. Like I said, we're jettisoning spiritually at the same time as the chaos is going on in the world. There's progress in technology. We just have to see, what is that? What's the progress in technology intended towards? Is it intended towards good, the good of all, or not so good and death and destruction? We need to figure out what it is that we really want from that. And then the Anunnaki light codes, we're going to look into that right now and see what they have to say. See what Kyle Gray has to say about this and how he describes the Anunnaki. So here, the Anunnaki are a race of cosmic light beings who have been coming to Earth since ancient times. The Sumerians and Babylonians acknowledged them as the deities who governed the space between the worlds. The divine leader of this incredible race is the goddess Ishtar, a powerful figure similar to the Egyptian goddess Isis. The Anunnaki have taken many forms throughout the ages. They have an angelic warrior-like quality and have appeared with wings, sometimes up to 4, and with an elongated head and face similar to that of an eagle. That's his description. When the Anunnaki appear, it's important to know they are heavenly allies supporting our healing and ascension. In the distant past, they visited the Atlantean civilization, now we're going back to Atlantis there, and helped those who are aligned with the spiritual path to ascend to the next dimension so that they could leave the wheel of karma. They acted as divine judges, deciding who could ascend and who had to be left behind for the growth of their soul. Those who had abused their powers and had not honored the divine or valued the great gift of life they had been given had to remain for the cataclysmic ending of their civilization. For that reason, some people who have had Atlantean incarnations may fear the Anunnaki, but be assured that they are beings of infinite light working for Source. Connect. Say Anunnaki, Anunnaki, Anunnaki. I welcome in the presence of the Anunnaki people. Thank you, angelic cosmic beings, for immersing my energy body in your light codes. This is the message. Great change is coming to you, but this can only occur if you are willing to shift your perception. You may be experiencing resistance to change, but please know this is simply fear of the new, not intuition. If you are wondering what is the best course of action, the Anunnaki are encouraging you to go with the new. Old systems, old ways of being, and old ways of doing things must be released if you are to evolve. And that's basically truth for everything. Change can bring a sense of vulnerability, but will allow you to make a deeper connection to your feelings, gifts, and what is important to you. You are standing at a gateway of pure potential that will be ignited as soon as you move through this necessary change. Be open to new information, new processes, and new ideas. You are part of the new energy upon the earth. Pretty bang on. So now, if you're looking at these 3 cards that I've pulled, the light codes that are coming in and the way that this is shifting, that once again, it is something, if it resonates with you, that's great. This resonates with me, knowing that the civilization, if it was the Anunnaki, again, it's just a thought pattern. If it was the Anunnaki that came and that basically had done what they were doing, or what Kyle Gray has said in the book here that they have done with the Atlanteans, then it means that our civilization is changing. It is a new era, and there's loads of new things that are coming. And I think if you've kind of looked at the last 3 years, since 2020, now going into 2023, so last 2 years in a sense, we've seen some newness that we've never seen before. We've also seen some corruption that is now being brought into the light, and how that has governed us. So what this is also saying is try very hard to be open to new information, to the new that is coming up, because it could change the course of your belief systems and thinking. And our belief systems are like habits. Sometimes if they are so rooted, they are very hard to break. And what this is basically saying is that be prepared for anything that might come up that could rock your world to the core. That any truths, any differences in what the history has been, or if the history is true. I personally believe our whole human history, what we've been taught, is completely wrong. But that's just again what I believe. If you're looking into this, just saying be open to the changes, and it will make it a whole lot easier for you, just because if you're able to be open to changes that are going on not only within the world but within yourself, then it will make it so much easier for you to transition, to evolve into what it is that you were meant to evolve into. So that is somewhat of the predictions, or somewhat that kind of moves into the predictions that are about to happen. Like I've said, I believe that our spiritual gain is about to grow, and that we are going to gain the gifts, gain some incredible gifts, psychic gifts, say, for example, telepathic gifts. In fact, I believe that there's many people that are actually going through that right now. We may gain other parts or other gifts, spiritual gifts that we never even thought that we would gain, but other civilizations have. And so we're ripe for it. So be prepared. Be prepared for anything that could happen in the next 6 months. So the next card that we have has to do with our new moon, and the new moon reading that I'm doing today. This is the full moon in Capricorn. Take a reality check. This is kind of a cool one, because at this particular time, if the new moon is in Libra, it's about balance. Basically, the new moon is the newness that is coming around, an end of a cycle or a beginning of a new one, basically. And what do we need to do to attain and to keep balance? Taking a reality check might be something that we were needing to do prior to this, or basically in many years. But now it's very important to look at what needs to happen to attain balance within your life. And this could be balance in your work, social life setting, in your relationships, in anything that is necessary to attain balance between your spiritual self and the physical self that is here. So there's a lot going on at this particular time with regards to balance. So I'm just looking into that, Capricorn. Take a reality check. This card has two sides to it, literally and metaphorically. If you've been worrying about something, the good news is that you shouldn't waste another moment worrying, as this won't help. Some things only happen once, and that can be really great news. But if you're wondering about how something you're keen on is going to turn out, this card could be a sign that you've hit a roadblock. If you want to change that, you're going to need to put in an extra effort with your manifestation work. Manifesting balance. Find a balance between facing your reality and being kind to yourself and others. I think that's a big one right now, considering that this is about the new moon in Libra. Find a balance between facing your reality and being kind to yourself and others. The manifesting mindset is, if you're not happy with the message of this card, use the old trick of finding the best thoughts you can about your situation and go from there. So that's definitely something about where we're at right now. As within, so without, and vice versa. What we experience on the inside is also something that we're experiencing on the outside. So if we're seeing a whole bunch of upheaval and changing and rebellion and movement forward and so forth on the outside, just know that that's happening on the inside as well. A manifesting ritual for weathering tough times. Add laurel essential oil to your diffuser. Sit comfortably and gently close your eyes. And then breathe, please breathe. Call in Parvati, the goddess of divine strength and power, and her son Ganesha, the Hindu elephant god who protects us. You need strength to get through this time, so ask Parvati and Ganesha to guide you to the best possible outcome. And this is basically just consulting your guides, consulting those that are helping and protecting you at this particular time and what you should do. Your manifestation, affirmation, everything is always working out in my favor. This one has been beautiful for me in many different circumstances, because if I wake up in the morning and say, everything is always working out for me, everything is always working out for me, the whole day turns out to be a wonderful day, because my mindset is that everything is always working out for me. So whatever happens, no matter, I could get a parking ticket and that will still be fine. Not really, but it'll be fine. It'll end up turning out to be fine, if not in my favor. So everything's always working out for me. So this is where basically best time, this is talking about the best times to work your magic. The best time to work your magic is on a daily basis, because you are magic. And this is basically saying that we are becoming even that much more magical. No matter what it is that we see out there, no matter what we see and feel on the inside, just know that you have the power. This channel is all about taking back your power. And you have it. You always did. Take it back, because it's there. You just have to believe in yourself and believe that you can make the difference, no matter what it is. And that means if you have to just sit and close your eyes and believe it and say it, I am a powerful being. Then, and in order for you to believe it, please sit down and say it and have it going over and over and over again in your head, that you're a powerful being. And then set your intention for whatever you want to see, freedom, peace in the world, love, a love relationship, or more compassion in the world or toward yourself. Anything, set that intention after you say that you're a powerful being over and over again, because eventually you'll believe it. So I hope that this has helped. I hope that these messages, this different set of messages within this reading has helped you a little bit. And I hope that you have a wonderful new moon. Sit out there, watch the night sky if you can, if there's no clouds in the sky, and enjoy this time. Try to find the joy. Thank you again for watching. Please like this video if you do, and subscribe to this channel if you haven't, because I will be putting out more and more videos. Thank you again, and bye for now.